big weekend for us here on the home front. It's actually tax day. Actually, technically, for Olivia, it's today. I'm tomorrow. And finally ready to kind of take my report card in and say, this is how I did, boss. At least that's how I see my taxes. And it's the first full year. I didn't have any W 2 income. So, kind of interesting. My taxes have gotten more complex. Just putting together all the material, it's I guess I knew that was coming, but just how much more complex, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But anyways, on to the topic of the day. If you were watching this, this is a daily video series. It's been called the Daily Financial News. Title changed to Daily Millionaire News. Title changed. I'm trying to game the algorithm. It's no secret. Trying to get more and more people to watch this because, again, when we talk about this every day, you can see what's going on in the economy, both the consumer and the cost of capital. You can go back. We've now been doing this well over 100 days together. So if you're watching this, do me a favor, hit subscribe so you get notified of the live streams. I do all of my daily videos live. I wake up, read a bunch of stuff, take a bunch of notes, and then come talk to you. Nothing's prepared or canned. I think live is better. So if you want, do me a favor, hit subscribe, tell your friends. Let's have a good old time. So what are we talking about this Saturday morning? First and foremost, it's kind of interesting. I'm getting a lot of notes from kind of stock investors. Hey, Michael, basically be nice to us. And I'm like, well, I am being nice to you. I mean, I could say some really silly things, but I won't. I've never really been a stock guy. I don't watch the market for stock prices and stock picking, market risk, sector risk, company risk. If you know our story, real estate is so much easier. I don't have the time. Really, what I have is I don't have the emotional. I don't know. I don't manage my emotions very well. And when I can hit sell or buy, I don't do well. So that's why I'm not a stock guy. If you're out there and you have a stock portfolio and you're doing well, I wish you all the best. Your success means nothing to me, but so I wish you all all the best. I hope it goes to the moon for you. But let's be clear. We just had the worst week on record. We came from an all-time high to correction, 11, 12% inside 5 trading days. And we've been talking about it for a while. That's why I like this daily video series. So you can go back and watch, 6, 8, 10 weeks ago, I was going, guys, getting kind of stretched, right? PEs are all-time high. Right? This, go back and look at the charts. This is not normal. This is kind of feeling like 2002. So I like these series are recorded so we can always go back and go, hey, he did say that. So that's pretty cool. What I do want to say is cash-rich investors will be going shopping in the next 4 to 12 weeks, I think. I think it is going to be once again proven that Warren Buffett is just better than all of us, right? He has been harpooned in the news media the last couple of years for a growing cash balance. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was over $130 billion in cash. That's a lot of cash. But I think what's going to happen is there is going to be probably several. I think I'm on record saying 2. I think he's going to go buy 2 companies that are cash poor. We are seeing such supply disruption, and we're about to see a lot of demand disruption. And companies that are cash poor, they're going to be looking for a white knight probably by tax day, probably by middle of April. That's how fast this can go, right? If your top line revenue gets whacked, but your bottom line expenses are the same, you're not watching that cash flow statement, you're toast. And pretty soon you're going to call up Warren Buffett and say, hey, can you buy me for pennies on the dollar? And oh, by the way, we need an immediate cash infusion to make payroll. So not only Warren Buffett, there are lots of cash-rich investors who've been sitting on the sidelines, anxious to make a deal, watching new highs, going, I don't get it, I don't get it. Well, if you've been a cash-rich investor, you've been holding 20% of your cash back, whatever it is, I suspect you are going to have some buying opportunities in the future. To be clear, I'm not saying the buying opportunities are here. I do not think we've seen panic selling. It has been very orderly, right? And by orderly, I mean the whole market has gotten whacked by 12%, right? You didn't see sector or stock um, specific hits like sell, 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 sell everything, sell the kitchen sink, right? That hasn't happened yet. But if we see an explosion in cases in the U.S., it'll happen. It will absolutely happen, right? I can remember watching the markets pretty closely when Lehman Brothers went out that evening and watching it the next day. I know what panic looks like, feels like. I've seen it in the dot-com era as well, right? I have the scars and loss of money to, again, right? I admitted right out of the gate, my emotions aren't great when it comes to stock trading. That's why I lock real estate, one rental at a time. It's so much easier. Um, but so I think there's a bunch of buying opportunities coming. So I am not bashing stocks. I have not come out and said, hey, sorry for your loss. My rentals are still great. Those are things all over social media. That's not who I am. I feel bad for you if you've been hurt by this. Um, but realize I'm pretty clearly not a stock guy. But the good news is I'm not a stock guy at the high and I'm not a stock guy at the low. So that's what's going on. Again, we are having a supply disruption and a demand disruption, but I don't think we've seen the worst of it. It's still coming. For all of us out there that think China has bad data, right? I am one of those who've said a couple of times, how can you trust them? But I'm also on record saying their data has been so bad for so long, it's almost meaningful, if you know what I mean, right? Uh, they had their supply number. What do they call it? No, China manufacturing number. It got posted this morning. It's bad. It's like really bad. Last month in January, it was 50. And if you don't know, 50 is the number between expansion and contraction. So 50 is kind of like we're flat month to month. People were expecting a 46, so a contraction. They were expecting 46. They got up 35.7. I've never seen a reading at 30. I've never seen a reading in the 30s, let alone the mid 30s. 35.7. And again, this is going to get all kinds of people worried, right? If you think China's data is bad and they printed a 35.7, what do you think the real one is? Do you think it's 25.7? I mean, I don't care what it is. 35.7 is horrible. And that just gets me thinking, right? I think in Q4 China's GDP growth was 6%, 6.0. I originally was thinking that maybe it'll be half to 3% in Q1. I think it might be negative. I think China's economy ran into a brick wall. Self-imposed, right? You kind of you put 11, 12, 15, 50 million people on kind of quarantine, which as near as I can tell was the right move, right? You help at least slow this thing down. But wow, that's going to hurt. So I was thinking about that this morning when I read it, and I think you're going to very quickly see China stimulate the employees, the consumers. You know that Hong Kong, as this channel reported, I think on Monday, maybe Tuesday, they are already giving their citizens over $1,200. I think it's very clear that China is going to have to do the same thing, but to a much, much, much bigger level. They can't get their manufacturing going. People aren't showing up. This is going to hurt. This is no question going to crush Q1, but it's going to linger to Q2. And oh, by the way, let's not forget, China's mainly an export economy. So what happens if the rest of the world is a quarter or two behind them with this contagion? Who are they going to make stuff for? Nobody's buying. Man, it's 35.7. That's really not good. But again, I go back to the point that this event will end. It won't be the end of humanity. If you are a cash-rich investor, you are going to have some tremendous buying opportunities. If you have deep pockets like Warren Buffett, I am convinced he is going to make two very splashy acquisitions of public companies that were run with low cash balances. It's like blinking, sell, sell, sell. I'm going to guess in April, right? It'll take a while for people to realize that they're starving from cash. So that's what's happening. Two things that I'm watching for in the economy. One is job openings. I've been trying to figure out what gets hurt first when supply and demand gets hit in the US. And my first guess is companies cancel existing openings. So I'm going to be watching that. We're probably weeks away from having meaningful change. But do me a favor, right? If you're watching this and you're employed, let me know if your companies are already reducing open headcount, right? A lot of folks have had job openings. We've had 3.5% unemployment. It's been one of the constraints. So let me know if companies are already canceling open jobs or delaying them. They may delay them first and then cancel them second. And the one I'm really following, because again, this channel is about real estate, is I want to know what's going on at open houses. I've actually put posts out on Facebook going, hey, real estate agents, tell me about your open houses this weekend. So tell me, if you guys have open houses this weekend or you go to them or you know real estate agents, I really want to know the whole month of March, right, which starts tomorrow. What's going on in open houses? I'm guessing traffic goes like this, which is really interesting because what have we been asking for in real estate? We want more supply and we want lower prices, less competition. I think this virus is going to give it to us. I think we're going to have supply increase. I think we're going to switch from a seller's market to a buyer's market. But just like last time this happened, a lot of you are going to be scared and do nothing. It happens every time. So I'm watching that. And again, the first thing I could think of is open houses. And if I hear from agents, open houses are suddenly like 2010 where nobody's showing up, I am going to get after this. Thank you. Please let me know. I really want to know. My guess is it starts okay in March, but goes like this. That's going to be fun to watch. Did you see the news about United Airlines? It's no secret that hotels, cruise line, airlines, all these folks are just getting crushed, especially United, because again, they had the largest footprint in Asia on flights. They are now offering their pilots. Awesome. Let me know. I'd love to know. They're offering their pilots a month off, 1 month at reduced pay, no less, but still a month off. They've seen a 75% drop in occupancy for their Asia flights, not China, Asia. Right? Consumer behavior is changing. So I still think it's just starting. Like, I don't know. I hate using sports analogies because not everybody watches them. If you know baseball, there's 9 innings in a typical game. We're probably in the second or third inning. If sports isn't your thing, think of a show that's 60 minutes long. We might be at the first commercial break, right? We still got a lot to go, right? You've just met the players and you haven't even seen the crime yet, so it's early. This thing's not done. But again, just like a movie, just like a baseball game, this will end. And it's going to be the people that pick up the deals like Warren Buffett that really prosper. And I'm going to take a shot as well. There's no secret. When everybody gets afraid, I get greedy. And it's a month ago, everybody wanted in. But my guess is lots of investors are going to get nervous and not want to do anything. So I'll just buy a bunch of deals. You got it. I will look you up, Carol. Thank you. So in the end, I just wanted to close this session by saying, don't panic. I know firsthand experience with stocks that I was not a good stock investor because I let emotions get a hold of me. I would look every day. I would look every hour. And eventually I wouldn't have it and I would hit sell. I don't think that's happened yet, at least in a great number. But history says it will. But just realize in real estate, again, if you do what I teach and talk about, you learn your market, you are going to have some nice deals come your way. But again, we have to see what's happening, and I think it's open houses first. So in the end, I see buying opportunities. I don't see them yet, but they're a lot closer now, whether you're a stock investor or a real estate investor. We have seen stuff start to go on sale. The stock market is already on sale by the tune of 12 to 20%, depending on which stocks. I think real estate's a little stickier. I don't think it's started yet, but look every day, learn your market. If you don't know what I mean, there's a course in the link below. I think the only thing you have to answer in real estate is what's a bad, average, good, and great deal. The only thing I can tell you is you got to do the work. I tell you how to do it, tell you how to compare deals, and I expect to go shopping. I expect to go shopping. So at the end of the day, you have a wonderful Saturday. I'll let you know how my taxes go on Monday. I really do feel like it's my report card. It's like, here, Dad, here's how I did. Here's my income. Here's my expenses. Tell me what I owe. It's kind of weird. It's always been a weird feeling. So in the end, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.